Awesome. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Shane. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm excited to be talking with you today.
Well, here's a little tidbit for you. I'm in North Bay.
I heard. Um, wow. We can talk about North Bay then because I was there for 2 months making this movie, and I would say it is it's part of the DNA of the film.
Yes, I noticed that. It was
Hmm.
definitely ingrained in the movie. Why'd you pick North Bay?
Well, I mean, there is a very practical reason that we have the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund, which is a very important grant and opportunity to help Canadian filmmakers get their stories told. So, absolutely shout out to them. We wouldn't have gotten to make this film without that Heritage Fund in place. So, huge for us. And then beyond that, the town of North Bay is actually kind of perfect. I used to tour a lot with bands, and there was kind of this like secondary market that, we'd tour through. We'd call it, it's not like the big cities, but you still want to hit them on the tour. And it becomes a different kind of, I was thinking of that when we were going through like the venues and the people. It's like a smaller kind of crowd, but almost when there's a concert, everyone in town comes out for it because it's just something to do. It's not like in the city where there's like 18 different shows every night from different artists. Like you really get the whole crew out and there's that community vibe. And it like the locations were perfect. The talent up there, amazing. So very happy that we wound up in North Bay and the lake, beautiful. Your ice cream, delicious. I had a lot of ice cream on the lake there.
I'm assuming you mean the Green Store.
Yes, the green store.
The Green Store, yeah. All right. So, what was the initial spark that led you to write and direct Sweetness?
Um, the initial spark was, I would say it was meeting fans at shows of that I was working at with artists and um, kind of posing the question, what would happen if, you know, these two people actually wound up in a car together or had any time together? How would that go? Um, and what would they be capable of on both sides? So I think that that was the initial question I asked and followed it from there. And then I wrote the beginning and the end of the film first.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
that's kind of, yeah, I had the idea of how it starts out and how it ends pretty early on, and then worked from there.
And then you had to fill in the gaps.
Hmm.
So your background in directing music videos is evident, especially in the concert scene at the beginning and the church sequence. I liked how quickly that moved along. But what do you hope this film says about your voice as a director moving forward?
I hope that it shows, I would say my sense of humor and tone. I think that it expresses something that is probably hope, very unique to me and my sensibilities too, of this like blend of sweet and sour, as I put it too. It's got like, the real darkness, but it's got a sense of fun to it at the same time. Um, so I'd say there's a lot of my personality in there, and what I like. I also think it shows a lot of my sensibilities, is, what I like as a filmmaker, just in the choices that we made throughout it and the way that the sets look and the storytelling is done, and we took a lot of restraint in a lot of scenes to tell them in a very certain way. Um, and then, music choices and things like that. So I hope that I feel that if you know this film, it's pretty accurate to knowing me and my, sensibilities and taste.
Riley's journey is both sympathetic and unsettling. How did you approach balancing those two sides of her character?
Uh, carefully, very carefully, we approached both sides. That I mean, like I'd say it's a difference between plot and character. I would say too, like, sh- the actions, in the plot of the film are the more unsettling part, but then her character is that sweet and sympathetic side too. So like, her intentions and her like, the way that she approaches scenarios and the way, that she acts and is, versus what she's doing almost are at odds with each other, right? Because she's pure and innocent and she's good-hearted, but what she's doing is at direct odds with that. So that, um, like, opposition is where the sweet spot of Rylee is found.
Okay. So the film presents celebrity as both seductive and destructive. What are you hoping audiences would reflect on regarding fame?
Um, I would just say that regarding fame, I hope that more, more often than not, people can enjoy. I want everyone to enjoy the art that famous people make or whatever entertainment that is, and enjoy it and interface with it for sure. But it to remind people maybe to connect with your communities and the people directly in your life because it is not a replacement for genuine human connection. And I think that that's kind of the only danger with it is when we start to rely too heavily on uh probably for me it's like the podcasters I listen to or something. I'm like, oh yeah, they're my friends and they're not. They're people that I listen to, but you start to replace real connection with uh yeah, you know, fake one-sided connection.
Think that social media has any play with celebrities being more available to people and their connection to maybe that I'm more drawn to thinking I'm connected to them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that social media now is, when we were growing up or 20 years ago, people were mysterious. It's like, the tabloids might sneak some pictures and you get a look into their life and being like, oh, they wore sweatpants to the grocery store and then or that kind of thing. But now everyone's just open all the time and like what they're eating for and their friend groups and their circles and where they hang out and it's like you can feel so much closer to them like you really do know their personal lives and um I don't I have no I think it's just the way it is. I don't think there's anything bad or good about that. I think if people want to interface with that it can be cool and a great way to connect with people, but it definitely can lead to a little bit more delusion, I would say.
Fair. Uh, Peyton Adler is disturbingly real.
Mm.
What did Herman Tomaras bring to the role that surprised you?
I mean, like, we changed the character to be, a Norwegian band when we found Herman, so he brought that European sensibility to I think the film as well, which is just there's something, unquantifiable about him as well. He has, like, just this charm, I think is really important to the character that I wanted to get, but Herman really turned up in a way that I didn't know could happen, and I kind of I believe that it helps you understand Riley's obsession a little bit more because he has a way of, like, looking at her as a character where you're like, "Oh, you are, like," he looks at you and you feel like, "Oh, you're really this connection's real," you know? He can really hone in on her in those moments and sell that it's this true connected moment. So, um, I think he just has a really, really great ability to hold someone, um, in a scene in that way, and also he can sing. He really can sing. So, an amazing voice is the other thing I would say.
So was that him performing then?
Yep.
Oh, it's
He's
incredible.
yeah, he's an incredible singer.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Uh,
played it down so much when I first auditioned him where I was like, "Can you sing?" He's like, "A little, just a little." And then he, like, gets on the mic and he's just like perfect and, like, has an incredible voice. I was like, "Herman, like, you need to not just say that you can sing a little, you can sing."
Little humble.
They're my friends, and they're not. They're
Film doesn't offer easy moral answers. Was that I can't even say the word here. Ambiguity always part of the plan?
Yeah, I would say so. I love telling those kinds of stories. I love when characters are new. I don't, that's my personal philosophy on people and in the world too, is that, um, very often, more cases than not, people are neither good nor evil. It's usually a combination of both, and the choices that we make along the way, and how we define ourselves and how society defines us. So I liked playing in that gray space. I think I'll always continue to play in that gray space of where the line lives of good and evil. And yeah, I'd say that comes from I was raised, in the church and then found kind of my own path separate from that in adulthood and had to do a lot of exploration on what I believe my own moral lines are away from religion. And that's kind of, I think, some of the reason I enjoy posing those questions.
Okay, some reviews from South by Southwest labeled Sweetness as the Gen Z reimagining of misery. How
Mhm.
does this make you feel? And were there any films from your youth that touched on the subjects like the ones in Sweetness? And um, yeah, did you draw from those as inspiration to write and lead this down that path?
Yeah, I think the misery is probably the most obvious one, but there's a lot of different influences. I'd say there's a lot of movies in the kind of girlhood sphere of things. I Another Canadian film, Ginger Snaps, is a huge one because it's got these two sisters, and it's an absolutely iconic movie. I'd say 13 is another one that you'll see influence from. Again, it's a two female girl friends, teen girls, as that girlhood experience, coming of age. Eighth Grade is another one. It really hit on the head of the painful awkwardness of those years. A movie called Teeth is something I think was such a incredible film for tone that we really I find so much inspiration of, and um, just being both entertaining and having social commentary at the same time. Or and then something like Jennifer's Body as well, which is like this beautiful spectacle of walking camp and horror and quippy dialogue all in once. So the all inspirations for me.
Are you working on your next project?
Yeah, we're hoping to get into production on the next one. Maybe North Bay again, we'll see. I would be very happy to come back and film there anytime. I We were there for, yeah, the late spring, and it was a beautiful time. So
Yeah, I it was late spring because I recognized the dirt by the curb and the gray green grass.
yeah,
So,
it was actually very nice. By the time we left, it was finally warm enough. I actually went for a jump in the lake, but
oh, very nice.
beautiful up there. Yeah, and what an amazing place to shoot. I hope that more and more people, go. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's the best kept secret. Maybe I should tell people not to go there so that I can keep it.
Yes, a
Yeah.
lot of places to shoot around here. Well, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for speaking with me today, and best of
Yeah,
luck
thank you.
on your career. I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing more from you. And that was our conversation with Emma Higgins, the writer and director of Sweetness. Huge thank you to Emma for taking the time to sit down and really unpack the themes behind the film, from obsession and fandom to the emotional cost of celebrity culture. It's always great to hear directly from the filmmaker about the choices that shape what we see on the screen. If you haven't already checked out our full review of Sweetness, it's live here on the channel, where we go deeper into the performances, the direction, and what ultimately makes the film such an unsettling watch. I'll link it right down in the description below. After hearing from Emma, I'm curious. Does it change how you see the film? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this interview, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more filmmaker conversations, movie reviews, and physical media coverage right here on I Crave Movies. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.